Balan Wonderland. So this game has been lambasted as a terrible game, which is quite a shame since it's a 3D platformer and we don't get many of those, so I decided to try out the demo. It can't be that bad, right?
Move this man!
After a rather lengthy intro, we're thrown into this hub world. How we got here from the city we were just in, I don't know. But being a demo, and the very beginning of the game, there's only the first level open to us. One of the first things I noticed was that it seemed like every button was a jump button, which is because it kind of is. I don't understand why jump and costume ability weren't just made into separate buttons, and why we needed 6 buttons doing the same action, which depending on the costume, might not even have a jump. If you're in a costume that has an ability that isn't jump, then you're just not jumping. You'll have to switch over to a costume that does jump. We have all these buttons that we could use for different things. We could even have 3 jump buttons and 3 costume action buttons if you wanted options. But not being able to jump in certain costumes is ridiculous. Once we get past that, it's not as bad as people are making out to be. It definitely has problems, but it still is a nice little 3D platformer when it shines. Jumping around is still fun. It could have used some more tweaking to get it just right, as the jumps can feel a little stiff, but what we have could have been okay if the game around it was designed better. The puzzles, while simplistic, are fun little puzzles. The story, however, is where I got lost. A sad boy and then a sad girl go to Balan Wonderworld, and then I think he's trying to treat them, and then we get to the hub world with no explanation. And then there's this thing with the farmer, and this dance stuff. There is no way to give a concise description of the game. Let's take for example another 3D platformer, A Hat in Time. You're a hat kid that has to collect all the timepieces to power your spaceship. Simple enough. Or something like Ratchet & Clank. You're the incredible duo of Ratchet & Clank flying around to different worlds to save the galaxy. What is Balan Wonderland about? Well, I believe Balan is that character. I could be wrong though. And Balan Wonderland is this place that I have no idea how it relates to the actual game, and I don't know my character's name or what he's trying to achieve or why. I typically bash games that focus heavily on story, and my issue is that to me, gameplay should come first. However, that does not mean that story isn't important. Story can improve a game experience, but by adding significance to what you're doing. Why am I going on this journey? In something like Kingdom Hearts, it is to find your friends and bring them back home, as well as helping out friends you meet along the way.
I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power.
In Sly Cooper, it's to put back together the Thievius Raccoonus because that's Sly's family heirloom. A clear goal in mind helps us to keep driving forward. Which is, while I had fun jumping around, which is me in basically any platformer, I can see how people won't have a clue as to what's happening, and the terrible design choices could easily frustrate them, so in the end, they won't have anything to keep them going. They won't have a clear goal in mind, because even after reading the synopsis on Wikipedia, I still don't see it in the game. So if you have any interest in the game, I recommend waiting for a sale, like a heavy Steam sale, to get it really cheap, since this is available on pretty much every console. Hey, I didn't mean you. Sony's trying to kill you off, go away. Or you could wait for Black Friday, that's not too far, right? It'll give you time to work on your backlog, cause I know I need to keep chipping away at mine.